I am Yasser, and as you may notice, this is my first time hosting, and that's because we have a very special episode today.
Woo!
We're actually all together for the first time. One table.
Yeah.
Like Matt said.
I like the specificity there, because technically we're together every time, just not in person.
But in person, that's
Yeah.
right. Because this is our 100th episode, and we have a very special episode. But before we get started, let's just talk about it. How do we feel like the podcast is going, everyone? And the recommended experience?
Honestly, it's been crazy. I didn't actually realize that we've been doing this for 4 years. Like, it's literally about to hit 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we recorded our first episode in August of 2020.
That's true.
Like, during
That's
the
right now.
pandemic,
Yeah.
we released it in September. I didn't know how long this was going to last. I mean, our listeners have grown a little bit, like a little small bump, but I mean, that's cool. And honestly, just even having the recording to listen back to every once in a while has been really fun.
Yeah.
I
Like,
agree.
I'm glad to hear that the listeners have gone up, because I never look at the pod feed and like statistics, so I don't even know if we have.
That's Tiffany's job.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
have to update us to be like, do we have anybody?
Yeah.
Who are we making this for?
I mean, we got 9 subscribers on YouTube, so that's
Wow.
more than...
For all 9
Nice.
of you out there,
Yeah.
which may or may not include us.
Yeah.
And so
Am I
Tiffany,
subscribing?
Yeah.
We can make this 10
10.
real quick.
Oh my gosh.
so Tiffany is our uploader. How about our editor? How's the editing going, Alex?
Man, I mean, I have learned some more techniques since we first started the podcast. Not a lot, but definitely some things to help speed up the process.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's always the major thing of like, whenever we have a long episode,
Yeah.
or even just an episode that has some technical difficulties and we have to edit some things around, that it takes a little bit more of my time. But I've learned like some things to help kind of expedite the process and just make it more bearable on me, just to get the episodes out for you guys.
So what's helped the most?
I guess it's the noise reduction, because Audacity has a noise reduction feature where it's
Yeah.
like if it's something like a fan or just like nicks and knocks in the background, like it's helped kind of reduce those without me having to like manually like zero out people's recordings.
Tiffany
Yeah.
moves her fan away from the
Yeah,
recording.
my
Loud
laptop's
laptop
really loud.
It's about to take off right now.
So we'll see if that comes up in this, and if I have to zero it out, but hopefully not.
This is
but-
probably going to be your worst case
Sounding.
scenario for editing.
Yeah, listeners, I hope this doesn't sound like the most awful episode we've done. Maybe that's like one of the first episodes I've edited, but I'm hopeful we can continue or I can continue to learn more to just expedite everything, so it's easy to just collapse you guys into the WAV file and just get it all like shipped out.
Yeah, and we're being hosted by Matt, our fourth host. What do you think?
Here I am. I can't believe it's been 4 years. It's kind
I
of crazy.
can't either.
We're graduating.
We're graduating.
Oh, yeah.
We started as freshmen.
Yeah.
Senior year.
Yeah.
I dropped out halfway through.
But now you're back.
I'm graduating on time somehow.
Yeah.
Re-enrollment.
He has that dirt on the dean. It's something. I don't know what it is.
Listen, Matt's also our artistic extraordinaire. He got our
It's true.
he organized the revamp of our branding.
That's
that
true.
was a trial and tribulation.
Oh,
All the
man.
thumbnails are your artists
Were you part of that conversation when that was happening? I can't
The
remember.
new-
branding.
The
with
RXP.
No.
the logo.
No,
Oh,
that's when I
man.
dropped out.
Oh, yeah.
Should we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, we should.
So our icons, our logos and everything, we sent this out to a third party, to someone who definitely English is not their first language, and we were feeling that language barrier because it was like, hey, could you put this in there? And it was almost like Chat GPT, like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
It's like the most literal version of like, oh, there's a literal computer in X. Like, it was wild. Kind of frustrating, but I'm actually really happy like with our logo.
Me too.
Like,
I
it's,
really
it's probably
like
my favorite thing that we've done 4 years. Like, it's very professional, you know? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, it looks good. Like, it's like, wow, we're doing this thing. But yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Yasser because I was showing him around the house, and like I showed you guys last time, you guys have a picture in the house. Like, you three are in our house.
Honored.
All the time.
Absolutely
Front
honored.
hallway, as soon as we come home, like, you guys are there. But it's like, I don't have a set of friends that I talk to on like every 2 week
cadence.
basis. Like, you guys, unless I work with them, like, sometimes I don't talk to my friends for like 4 or 5 months, you know? So it's kind of nice, like, beyond just like the content, like, it's been fun to just have like friends that
Catch up.
like the same thing. Friends.
Wait, listeners, Matt has other friends.
I do
besides
have other
us.
friends,
Yeah.
but it's just nice to have friends that you can like talk to about things you like. Like it's just
Absolutely.
And
Or even
consistently follow up.
yeah. Or even, I mean, dare I say, have a captive audience. I'm sure I'm like, let me preach about something I need to recommend to the world, and you guys are forced to listen to me yammer on.
And I just want to shout out Matt. I thank you for taking up the mantle of creating thumbnails for the episodes. I think you started back in like 70 something is when I started requesting you to make thumbnails.
It's kind of fun. Yeah.
Honestly, I love some of the stuff that you've come up with.
Because some of the thumbnails don't take much effort, and you can definitely tell which ones they are.
Episode 99.
I don't even remember what that was, so probably.
The Arizona Ice tea.
No.
Listen, that's got like 6 layers into it. That actually took a long time.
Yeah.
Layers.
But it was like a goal of mine that year to just like learn how to use Mac's
Pixelmator,
version
right?
of Photoshop, Pixelmator.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to do. And I'm not a very creative person. Like I don't do a lot of like creative writing. I'm not writing a novel right now.
Yeah.
Who is?
Yeah. Who's to know? But it's kind of fun to just like have almost like a creative outlet when we're like watching trash TV night. I'm just like, Maddie, look at this thumbnail. And she's like, that's great.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like, would this make you click on it? Would this make you click on it?
Oh, you have an A and B version?
Yeah, that's right.
You're like, I'll hide this layer to show her, and then I'll expose this layer. It's like, which one draws your eye more?
Yeah.
But that's really fun. I've really enjoyed the past 4 years, so.
Yeah, I feel like you've come a long way with those thumbnails. I remember when you first started talking about making them, you were asking me like what you should try. And I recommended Pixelmator.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I've already heard of that. Should I try it? And you've kind of like hit the ground running with that, and now you're our thumbnail expert.
For real.
It's fun stuff.
I can only imagine what the thumbnail will be for this episode because I'm
Yeah,
not
I was
sure.
about to ask, like, what do you think?
Oh, actually, I have no idea.
Some of the stuff we're going to talk about might be a surprise. So
we'll see.
Matt is going to have to ruminate
Okay.
on
All right.
what we're doing.
Pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
I don't want just a big
That's right.
100 and then that's it.
Okay.
Damn,
I'll erase my thumbnail.
It's like I already pre-made it. I
Yeah.
can't delete the
It's like a
file.
birthday cake with
Yeah.
100
candles.
candles.
I actually think that would be a good
That
idea.
would actually be pretty funny.
Honestly, with a graduation cap on it.
Actually, that's a good.
Oh.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
to do with graduation now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But-
this is the first time that we've actually seen your face recording.
It's
So
so-
we've never known what you look like when you talk. Pulling behind
That's
the
right.
curtain a little bit. We're all on a video Discord,
Yeah.
except for Yasser.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll
Yeah.
get there. It's never gotten there.
Listen, okay. Let me explain.
Please.
I record on my gaming PC. And that gaming PC just doesn't have a camera.
Okay.
And so when I came back in my grand return this year,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to set up my Mac so that I can record on it, so that I can like have a camera and like have it all set up. I just have been too lazy. That's all I can say.
Okay.
I've been
All
too
right.
lazy.
No, Yasser, you have to come up with the excuse.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Listeners?
Okay, wait, no. This is the excuse. Okay, listeners, listen up. Okay. Tiffany and Alex's Wi-Fi suck like half the time. So if I'm also giving video, they're just gonna like
Collapse.
not be able to hear us, right?
Sacrifices need to
So
be made.
sacrifices.
Honestly, I did not think he'd pass the buck to us. And I thought this would be a segue into us saying we're going to launch a Patreon. And it's up to you to support Yasser's
Camera dream.
foray into getting camera equipment.
But maybe the first tier can get you guys better internet.
No, sure.
Listen, sometimes I'm traveling around, and that's where my internet gets really shoddy sometimes. Okay.
It's kind of fun when we're recording every couple weeks because I don't know, because you live here
Yeah.
where I live.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you go back home to where Alex is at. Sometimes you're actually where your job is at, which is a
Yeah.
third city
Yeah.
in Virginia.
Yeah.
And so when we record every couple weeks, it's like, oh, let's see what her camera's set up. And that will let me know where Tiffany is at this week.
Is it,
Guys,
is it
there'll
from
be
above
no-
or from below?
Oh,
or is it from the
God.
side?
Yeah. Oh my god. So my laptop, my personal laptop, is also kind of a game. It's technically a gaming laptop,
Mhm.
but for some godforsaken reason, the camera is at the bottom of the screen.
What?
That's so wild.
It's in
Is
order.
that it?
Yes, this is it. It's in order to prevent the bevel. I guess it's to have a thin bevel up top.
Bezel.
Bezel. Thank you. I don't know. It's computer language.
One
Who's
con-
in IT?
one
I
consonant.
don't know. Yeah. And so the camera's at the bottom of the laptop, so it's a horrible angle, y'all.
It's
Like,
not very
It
fun.
doesn't look
It's-
like a good camera.
It's also not a good camera.
It looks like that mole camera from her. Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's right. But also, like, cameras on a laptop are just like so trash.
Yeah.
Typically.
Like, I was in a Teams call, and like the classic thing that would happen on Discord is like, I join the call, and it pulls from my Mac, like, camera, and I'm like, oh no. Like, there's like 3 grains to this.
Yeah.
Setting up the camera on my Mac is actually the easiest part because now you can have something called, oh my god, we're like going into a
tech talk?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'll make this quick.
Yasser's Tech Talk.
Yeah.
I'll make this quick.
Is this basically
you can automatically have your phone camera be your laptop camera. And it's called handover or handoff, I think.
Okay.
And then that can be your camera. It's like the best camera ever. For me, it's more just like getting the recording like software figured out so that I still sound good because I can't use my Blue Yeti. I don't want to like switch back and forth my Blue Yeti. So I use my like another mic. So that's
part of
the part that I want to like figure out.
Okay.
But I think you should look into that. There's like even things that you can put on the top of your laptop that like keeps your phone in place so that you can use your camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks really good.
Okay. We'll look into it.
Yeah.
Once we reach our platinum Patreon goal this month.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Are we calling the tiers after trophy levels?
That's right.
Silver, gold, platinum?
That's right.
So I do feel like we've come a long way on this podcast. It's been 100 mainline episodes, as we've said. And I recently listened to our first ever episode.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
First.
First.
Oh no.
And so, wait.
Is it
First
first
live episode.
First episode that we posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't talk about
Was there
other
one before
things.
that?
No.
No, that
We
wasn't
need to
the
let our
first
listeners
episode.
know.
That wasn't the first
Remember
episode.
Chadwick?
No, I remember that. That was the first
se-
episode.
It was like
No.
the second.
Oh, the
No,
second
yeah.
episode. Okay, I thought you were going.
That
there.
one's scrapped from the annals.
Yeah, I deleted that.
I know.
You heard nothing,
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah.
Is that one gone? Really?
Yes, I
I
remember that.
guess.
Wait, why?
I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did.
It was still a
Well, if you're
okay
interested
episode.
in it, subscribe to our Bronze
Yeah.
Patreon
Oh,
tier.
We'll
our
re-upload it for
YouTube
you.
channel.
Long lost episodes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I recently listened to that first episode, which, by the way, is hard to find. Like, it's not on Spotify, for example, which is where I typically listen to
What?
ours. I had to go to Podbean to access it. I think Spotify, we started like episode 17 or so.
Does it delete?
So-
Do we think it deletes like
I think-
older episodes?
I think early on we were only uploading to specific platforms, and then we
Oh.
like expanded a bit.
Okay.
I think
that
that's
would-
what my assumption was. I
Okay.
don't think they delete,
Okay.
but they might. So we'll have to look into that. But
I'm sorry,
anyways,
listeners.
Sorry for that.
no, trust me, you're doing them a favor.
Oh god.
That first episode, man, we had great discussions. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
like all of us had taken turns just like ranting about stuff, and I think I had the longest rant. So this is my segment.
Yasser
Okay.
wants
Oh,
it
this
all.
is your segment.
This is my segment. Okay, so we're gonna go through that first episode, and I have some questions for you all about
I
some of
love
the things
this.
that we talked about.
Blast from the past.
Yeah.
It's actually called Remembering Where We Came From, but I also like yours.
Okay.
Blast from the past works great. Okay, so I'm gonna have this be like a type of a game show
Love it.
where the points don't matter, but
Excellent.
each correct answer is a point.
Okay.
And each question, there's 4 of them, have to do with one of us. Okay, so the person that it's about doesn't get to answer until everybody else answers because they should know, or like most likely should know.
Got it,
theory.
Drew.
In theory.
Listen, I was a freshman back then. I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
I'm
All right. Well, the first one's
You're
about you.
cruising in your senior years.
Yeah.
The first one's about you, Tiffany.
Okay,
so
I'm
I'm
gonna
glad you
step
mentioned that. So, we talked about what we first got into gaming with, and so my question for you all is, what was the first game Tiffany mentioned when discussing how she got into gaming? I'm gonna start with you, Alex.
Okay, man.
You should know. You're her brother.
Right.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds.
It's hard to say because it has to be something on the Super Nintendo. So I'm gonna just say Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. Super Mario.
All-Stars.
Super Mario Brothers All Stars.
Yeah, so
your
that's
final
like the
answer?
collection on Super Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Okay, Matt.
I feel like we have talked about that at some point in the podcast. So, listen, if Alex is right, then that's good. I'm happy that.
Oh, you're just stealing his answer.
No, I'm not going that way.
Oh.
I'm going to say let's go like Pokemon Blue.
Wow.
Oh.
Interesting. So, just so you know, you can just say like I agree. You don't have to say like
That's
I'm
not
just saying, I'm
interesting.
just saying.
The points don't matter. You know
the
what
points
I mean?
don't matter. You're
Yeah,
right.
so I won't
Okay.
tell you. It's like we got the Game Boy Color live.
Well,
All
I
right.
would like Alex's answer then. No, I'm kidding.
So Alex said Super Mario Brothers All Stars from Super Nintendo, and then you said Pokemon Blue.
You know,
Game Boy Color?
maybe just let's go Kingdom Hearts. You know, might as well.
Okay.
It's even worse.
Okay, Kingdom Hearts. And Tiffany, what do you think?
Okay,
your
so
first...
when the topic was what turned me into a
Yep.
gamer.
Yeah.
that was the question?
the
the
first
first game.
introduction into gaming.
First introduction to gaming.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I did. Did I?
No, you didn't say that. I
Wait,
was-
what?
No.
Oh,
No,
do
no,
we
no.
need to restart?
No. I'm just like, I interpreted the question differently. Because
Okay,
I'm like,
okay,
how
okay.
did this conversation start?
Did you interpret it differently 4 years ago?
That's what I'm saying. I might have interpreted differently 4 years ago.
So basically, what you asked was,
How
like,
did
give
you-
us like your backstory of how you got into gaming.
Okay.
That's how you started.
I'm probably going to have to say it's either, I'm going to have to say it's the Mario collection or it's the Power Rangers game on Super Mario
Ooh.
or Super Nintendo.
I'm so happy right now
Why?
because none of you are right.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the answer was, believe it or not, Alex was close because it was Super Nintendo, but it was NBA Jam.
No way.
That was the first game she mentioned, and she said after she got her Super Nintendo,
Yeah,
Okay.
because we got it as a hand-me-down from our cousins.
and
so
they
it
had
came-
NBA Jam.
It
Yes.
came with a collection of games, and like an NBA Jam was a part of it. But I was like, I don't know what she would have mentioned first. Like
That's
among
the
that.
first
No,
game she mentioned.
I
Wow.
believe that. Actually, no, I do believe that because I loved that game. Apparently not enough, but it's been so long, right?
She loved the Charlotte Hornets.
I did. I love the Charlotte Hornets, and I love like he's on fire. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Wow.
yeah,
That was fun.
All right,
Okay.
this is how it's gonna go. I feel like no one's gonna get any of these right, which is
I love that.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
In a way, though, we're just
'Cause-
remaking episode 1. I kind of like that too. Just like, listeners, you don't need to go back to
Yeah.
episode 1. This is episode 1
We are,
remake.
Yeah.
but like the quick hits. We're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
through
Right,
them.
right, right.
Yeah.
All right, second question. This is a question about Alex. All right, so you're gonna answer last. What game did Alex mention he was playing at the time? And I'm gonna give you a hint.
Okay.
He talked about this game for at least 5 minutes.
It was
I'm gonna start with Matt.
okay. It was August
5
2020.
minutes. August 2020. What
We-
was
yeah,
even
it was-
happening in 2020?
Our first pod was posted on September 16th. So I guess
Yes.
we recorded in August?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh wow, so we have like a perfect like 4-year anniversary? or
Yeah,
something? Oh, wow.
basically.
I guess that shows how long it took me to edit it.
Look how far you've come.
No, I think we were investigating like services and stuff, and like
Yeah,
we didn't.
we
Oh,
were
really-
that's true.
You know what I mean?
How do
That's
we
true.
get it out to
Yeah,
the masses
yeah.
or
We're like-
singular individual that listens to it?
All right, Matt.
I'm glad you guys have,
I've given you a lot of time to think now.
I'm glad you did because I've needed all of this because I'm like I don't remember anything that happened in August 2020.
I think I remember.
Let's say August 2020. Let's say was Yakuza Like a Dragon? Was that 2020?
I don't remember when
We-
any of those
we
came
can't
out.
help you.
So
buddy.
we'll just say that.
Okay.
Yakuza Like a Dragon on what platform? It doesn't really matter,
PlayStation.
but just
Or-
PlayStation
yeah,
4
PlayStation
probably.
4, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Tiffany,
say
go
Fall
ahead.
Guys.
Fall Guys.
I'm gonna say Fall
Oh,
Guys.
Okay, that's a solid answer. So PlayStation 4 as well?
Yes, because that came out on PS Plus for all the
Okay.
members.
See, you have better memory than
Like it
So-
came out on his birthday. It was literally I took the day off.
I
and
think
we
that's a
literally-
great guess.
We played Fall Guys on his birthday.
Alex, what do you think? Do you
I'm
think
gonna have
either of them are right?
I'm gonna have to say it was Fall Guys because
Okay.
if we recorded in August, like
Yeah.
I think I was still on that. Like I was playing Fall
Yeah.
Guys daily,
Sure.
like up until we were recording that. So I feel like I would have had to mention it because also I really loved it as a like. I feel like this could have been a game where I'm literally playing it, you know, like forever, like
Yeah.
as a forever game where I just log in
Every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where I'm just like, man, I don't need to keep up with it a lot, but this is just a pure fun
Right.
experience.
Alrighty.
Are you guys ready for the answer?
Yes.
None of you are right again.
Oh, wow. What is it?
I guess I had already moved on from Fall Guys.
no. You're right. You did mention Fall Guys.
Okay.
So you were playing it at the time, and you mentioned how much you liked it, but it was not the game you mentioned first, and you talked about this game much more in comparison.
Wow. I
And
honestly
it
can't
was-
remember.
Apex Legends.
Oh!
What?
I was surprised when I was listening again too.
Wow.
He's
I mean,
like,
I was big. I think in total at this, I haven't played it in like 3 years,
Yeah.
but like at the time, or I know by now, like if you look at my EA Origin back when that was still a thing, and then before they moved to Steam,
Yeah.
if you combine the hours, I have like 700 hours in Apex Apex Legends.
Oh my god, that's how much I have in Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Yep. So
Wow.
he was talking about how much he loved the new season and how he loved the gameplay and the movement. It was a great time. A great time to be alive in August 2020
Yeah.
on Apex Legends. All right, we have our third co-host and his question. What video game name did Matt confuse with a rock band on this episode?
Oh.
I'm going to let Tiffany start.
Okay, so a video game name that you confuse with like one of us mentioned a video game.
He mentioned the video game, and he got it confused with the name of a rock band.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm going to say everyone's gonna be like, "This is not even a rock, technically rock," but Metallica.
Okay.
Or so-
What game was it?
I don't know.
Probably like
Metroid, like a Metroid game or something?
Metroid.
You're expecting... Okay,
Okay,
that's your
no.
final answer.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay.
That's my final answer.
He would never mess up a Metroid game, so I
Okay.
don't believe that for a
Yeah.
second.
Metroid
All
and
right.
Metallica. I mean, Metallica 4
Yeah.
Beyond.
All right, Alex.
Because we just talked about it, the only thing I would say is the immediate, like, this is my initial answer, so I
Yeah.
have to go with it. It has to be Fall Guys and Fallout Boy.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good answer. That's a really good answer.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
That's a solid one. I like that one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a band.
Yeah.
And it works. I like it. All right.
I
Final
have
answer for
no
Alex.
recollection of this. I do know that I kept messing up Astrobot and
Yeah.
Astro Boy, but Astro Boy is like an anime, so
That's true.
I'm just gonna say that because that's the only thing that's coming to my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have our first correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Alex.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good. That was
nice.
good.
Let's go, Fall Out
We
Boy.
were-
Shout out.
Yeah.
Like Alex mentioned, we did talk about Fall Guys
Yeah.
that episode. And he just randomly said, yeah, I love Fallout Boys. Or Fallout Guys, sorry.
Yeah.
And then we just like made a joke out of it, saying like, yeah, they graduated.
Yeah.
They're Fallout Guys now. So thank you, Matt, for that. And then I was going to have this as a bonus, but I'm just going to throw it out there anyways.
Yeah.
Just as a tiebreaker, but now points don't matter, right?
Yeah.
So whoever gets this
But
one
I'm
right.
winning.
Well, okay.
But this is worth 2 points now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Anyway.
Because it's about me.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, as the host, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the host always
The hostess
decides how
with
much
the
things are
mostest.
worth.
Yeah.
All right. I mentioned that we went on rambles and how
Yes.
no one rambled as much as I did in this first episode. So when Tiffany asked me what I was playing at the time, what did I go off on a tangent about that led to a 25-minute discussion, not about what I'm playing, but what I brought up.
Ooh.
And Tiffany yelled at everyone to wrap it up. Tiffany, I'll start with you.
Oh my gosh. I feel
Or do
like
you want to pass?
That's so
other
unrelated.
things?
No. I'm gonna. I feel like in one of the earlier episodes, like I wonder if we were coming off a direct or a PS, what is it called? A PlayStation State of Play.
Remember, the question for me was,
Yeah, I know.
what are you playing right now?
Yeah, I know. Gosh, but you ended up not talking about what you've been playing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel it in my bones. I'm gonna say Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Hogwarts Legacy
That
somehow.
was not out at that time. That came out.
No, it
last
wasn't.
year.
But I.
But he's still talking about it.
Yeah, I'm still talking. Yeah, I think I
You
don't
had
know
the
what.
foresight even before it was
It
announced.
was like a tangent about Hogwarts, maybe. And
I
like what the
literally-
game could be.
It
Like.
I
could be.
literally think
Yeah.
that was what was happening. I
Okay.
feel like that was one of our earlier episodes.
Okay. Alex, what
So
do you
the
think?
question is about the game, not what the topic spun into.
No, the topic.
Oh, okay. The topic.
I was asked what game I'm playing or games, and I didn't
And it
even
spun
answer.
into the topic.
I went into a topic.
Okay. I feel like if it's just the three of us and she was over it, it has to be achievement or trophy related. So
Okay.
something about achievements or trophies, and she was like, "I'm over this. I
Yeah.
don't care. Wrap it up."
Okay, so achievement hunting, trophy hunting.
Yes.
Got it. All right.
I think you talked about things expiring from Game Pass and you having to play Red Dead Redemption 1 and knock that out.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Because that is just baked in my mind. Because you still haven't beaten it.
Yes,
That's
I
right.
And
remember
it left
that.
Game Pass, right?
I
Yeah.
did leave Game Pass and
Yeah.
I bought it because you really didn't beat it in time. These are all great answers. None of them are correct.
Dang it.
So Alex wins. All right. The answer was, she asked me what I was playing. I just went off the Battle Royale tangent. You were talking about Apex. I was like, you know what? Fortnite. I love Fortnite. Fortnite. And then I went and talked about crossplay with Fortnite, and it just ended up being a 25-minute discussion. Alex and I went back and forth on, is crossplay good? Is Fortnite good for the industry with IPs? we went on a huge tangent, and Tiffany was like, "Wrap it the heck up,"
Oh, was it?
because it's
It's
over
all
an hour
coming.
now.
It's all coming back to me.
But you are correct, man. I did mention Red Dead Redemption 2, and I still have yet to beat that game.
Yeah.
I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 1 right now.
Okay.
I do think that from that discussion, I did start playing Fortnite with you. Because I started playing Fortnite when it later on that year.
Yeah, I remember
when we
that.
got I got a PS5, and then we started playing.
And it was when Spider-Man was in the battle pass.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great time.
times.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this walk down memory lane was like fantastic.
I'm glad that we don't remember anything.
Yeah, we should listen to our own. I remember how we talked about I love re-listening to our episodes sometimes. Clearly, it wasn't that one.
We just have to remake every episode from 1 to 16 because apparently those are inaccessible to listeners.
Yeah.
Again,
So-
I still feel like we did them all a favor. We probably don't want those to be advertised.
Right, but in the remake, we
Yeah.
can redo
Actually
it
do
in
it in a good way?
in
Yeah.
a better
Fair
way.
enough,
Okay.
fair enough.
That
Yeah, we have
opens
topics
up-
to use.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is that I looked on Apple Podcasts, same thing. 1 through 16, not there. But it starts on 17, and it says, does size matter? Or something.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm happy that that's where we start this podcast.
You know, I try to keep it up with the episode titles, and
Yeah.
it feels like going back that far, and it still hits, right? I
Yeah.
think I'm doing a good job for
Okay.
the most part.
Yeah.
That joke always hits.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, who's next?
I have to go next
Oh.
because I like kind of going off of the remake vibe a little bit, but not
Let's go.
in a direct way. But it does relate to my topic.
Okay.
So, you know, what there's something in this pod that we used to do that kind of fell off in the more recent episodes, especially with Yasser's return. But I feel like it's something that can come back, and that, you know, just whispered it. I don't know if it came up on the mic, but our Pro Jamer Pod segment, where we like to play these games, right? Obviously, we've already started the podcast with the game, but I would like to continue that. And
I don't think
so-
I've ever been on a Jamer podcast, right?
You
Have I ever been involved?
you were
in one?
on a pod with it, and if you won, you gave me a point.
Oh,
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I
I
think you,
do remember
I think
that.
you
I think I
might
won it.
have won,
I think I won
yeah.
it for you. Yeah.
which is good because I loved making these games.
Yeah.
I'm awful at these games. I think I always lost, but I loved making them.
Yeah.
All right, sorry to cut you off, Alex.
No. I mean, this is it. So this is what I'm gonna call "Who Did It Better," and this is a combination of something else we like to do in the podcast, or reviewing things. Obviously, a lot of entertaining media gets like review scores. Don't look over here.
Oh,
now.
sorry.
Everything pulled up.
Listen, these glasses
my
are
eyes are up here.
Oh my god.
these glasses aren't for show. I can't read that.
Yeah.
And so I collected 6 items here, and they are a combination of books, games, and movies, and they're essentially things that have had 2 forms. So it has had
Okay.
a book form, or
Ooh,
movie
okay.
form, game form, and then some other adaptation of it.
Okay.
And essentially, I'm going to go through these, and I want you guys to decide which of the 2 of like its forms has the better review score.
Oh,
So
that's
these
cool.
are out of 100. So I know. So for reference, the books, I took the scores from Goodreads.
Okay.
The games are from Metacritic, and then the movies are from IMDb.
Ooh.
And,
Oh.
and I scaled all of the scores out of 100. So just to make it easy. So in case, I know books are out of 5, right? Typically
On Goodreads.
5
Oh,
stars.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say if it's a 4 out of 5,
That's
like
80.
I just scaled it to 80. So
Okay.
just scale all the scores out of 100.
Goodreads, IMDb, and what was the other one?
Metacritic.
Metacritic.
So
For games.
yeah, that's for reference, right? So it's not Rotten Tomatoes, it's not
Yeah,
any
yeah.
other review site. So you have to log.
IMDb changes the game.
Yeah, I don't know
feel.
how you guys are locked into these.
I'm not gonna share my thoughts on IMDb, but I
Yeah.
know that it
I have
changes
thoughts.
changes scores for sure.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it's also up to you guys if you want to have it be an individual battle or if you just want to
Oh.
collectively work together. I'm not like making
Oh.
a pro Jamer pod like that where you're pitted
What do we
against
think,
one
guys?
another.
Let's
but-
do it together. Let's
do it
cooperate.
collective, yeah.
Okay,
great.
in that case, IMDb scores are way lower.
Way lower.
Yeah,
way
Oh,
lower. Yeah.
Okay.
Way more harsh.
Like something could be a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like a 20 on IMDb. Like it is
Yeah.
ridiculous,
It-
depending on what it is.
it's usually not that drastic, but it could be like a 7.
Yeah.
When it's
Okay.
like 90%.
Yeah, so
Okay.
IMDb I saw they do it out of 10, so it's
Yes.
like a 7.2.
0.1,
out of
yeah,
10.
or
something
So
like
it'll just be like a 70.
But if it's a really good movie, it can still be like 9, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
only the best of the best.
Letterboxd
Alright.
would have been really funny because it would be like all the like pricks of the.
Yeah.
Glad you didn't pick that. All right.
So for reference, I took these scores as of 2 days ago. So in case the scores may have changed, if it's something recent,
We'll understand.
That would be
Yeah.
wild.
You know, don't fact check me on this later by the time the episode comes out.
The
You're like,
listeners are gonna
that has a
find
lower score than it
Yeah.
did back then.
Yeah.
Yasser was right.
So for the first one, it is The Hunger Games, the
Okay.
first book.
Mhm.
So not the series, but just the first book.
Okay.
So The Hunger Games book versus the movie.
Which one has the higher score?
Yeah, which one do you think has the higher score?
Y'all, I think it's the book.
Yeah, I
The
think the book. Yeah.
Absolutely. We're done.
Wow, that
Yeah,
think
quickly-
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
There like any reasons as to why you think the book? You know, you want to.
I think the movies were a little bit divisive. I think the
For
book.
the readers.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
For the
I-
non-readers, I feel like they enjoyed it generally.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
think the book. I think absolutely the book.
I think it's going to be like 7 to 8
It's not too far
for
off.
IMDb.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think it's 7 to 8. Like I think it's.
Oh,
yeah,
sure,
let's
yeah.
add an
And
extra layer.
Oh my gosh.
Which one do you think is higher by how many points?
I think it's going to be like 7 to 8, and I would suspect the Goodreads to be like 4.2.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think the
It's not gonna be
scores.
drastic.
80 something.
Yeah, I think the score's gonna be close.
Yeah.
I agree. All right.
So no exact.
No.
You're just
No,
No,
no, we're not doing this.
Okay, so
Wrap it up. No,
Stop talking about Fortnite.
Yeah.
well, I want to do the floss stains.
Talk to the mic.
I'm
Don't-
talking to the mic.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, so The Hunger Games on Goodreads scored a 4.34 out of 5.
Nice.
So
yeah.
basically
There's just
rounded.
no
Respectable.
way the IMDb scores.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
rounded to about an 86, 87
Yeah.
if you want to round up.
Yeah. Good job, guys. High
Yeah.
five.
High five.
Maybe celebrating too early, I don't know.
No.
No.
Go ahead.
On IMDb, the movie has a 7.2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Not surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to comment on it because I know when I first found out that they were going to adapt the book into a movie, I was excited, right? Because I'm like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed the book. I enjoyed Suzanne Collins' prior series that not a lot of people read because it's more like younger kind of children level like storytelling
okay.
called
I know
Gregor.
Yeah, I had no idea. I've never heard
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
So she had a 5-book series even before doing the Hunger
Did you like
Games.
that better than Hunger Games?
Honestly, I did, but it could
Wow.
be a product of like I was a young kid when
Sure.
I read it, and it was
Yeah.
like written for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it had a lot of like surprisingly like mature themes in it in terms of like death and like kind
Sure.
of like like
Well, I mean, it
revenge.
sounds like Harry Potter to me in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
From what
Yeah.
you're explaining.
right.
Yeah.
And like I was also almost the same age as the main character in that
Yeah.
series,
Oh,
so it kind of resonated, right? Of
Yeah.
like I could be that kid,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
going on this adventure.
Sure.
And
What is it called? The series?
Gregor the Overlander.
Gregor.
Yeah. So it involved basically a kid in New York City, like basically falling down kind of like a sewer type tunnel and discovering there's like a whole underground world, like kind of under the crust of the earth.
Wow.
And so like he's the overlander in this story, kind of in this world.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
realizing, oh, there's like prophecies of like an overlander, you know, visiting the world. And then there's this whole like race of people that live underground.
Wow.
As well as like big like animals and stuff. So
New York
it's like,
City's wild.
Yeah, I know.
Those rats?
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's
they
just-
ride those rats.
yeah, that's just any back alley. But I know kind of the main thing, especially with the first movie that they adapted, Suzanne Collins was actually one of the main script writers.
Oh,
And
really?
honestly,
Yeah.
For Hunger Games?
yeah,
Yeah.
for Hunger Games,
The first one,
movie.
screenwriter. Yeah.
And honestly, I felt like that was to the detriment of the movie
Mm.
because you could kind of tell it's like, oh, it's not. Like, obviously, as a writer, she was
Yeah.
pretty good, but then script writing is vastly
It's
different
different,
than
yeah.
novel writing.
That's why I feel like Fantastic Beasts aren't very good.
right. And then kind of
yeah.
moving.
Shout out JKR,
Yeah.
you're a great writer, but
Yeah.
sorry, the screenplay.
Yeah.
And then moving into the second and third and fourth movies, right? She wasn't like the prime. I think she became a producer on them.
Yeah.
So like there is a difference in quality you can tell across the
Interesting.
movies, which I think is
And those
very
movies
nice.
got more interesting as the
Over
series
time.
went along. Yeah.
I haven't watched those in so long. Might need to rewatch them.
Yeah.
All right.
For real.
What do we got next, Alex?
All right. So next we have The Last of Us.
I knew this one was coming. This is going to be interesting.
And this is the original, so like the original remaster, so not part one.
Okay.
So you gotta go back in time.
Original
Twen-
remaster?
They remastered.
I know.
it,
Why
so
are we
there's
doing the original remaster?
They have the same score.
Oh,
So in
okay.
case you
Fair enough.
knew
Fair
the original score, but
Okay.
not the remastered
Got it.
score, but they're the exact same on Metacritic.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And then the show. I remember the show is from IMDb.
So this is what I think. Oh, the show is IMDb as
yeah,
well.
this is the review score
That's
from
tough.
IMDb.
That's definitely tough.
I think IMDb, though, for TV shows is much more forgiving.
Okay,
than
that's
movies.
interesting. I was gonna say I don't think the game was received like amazingly when it was like originally on
Made.
the PlayStation 3 and 4.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't like a huge hype thing until later on, I feel. That's just my initial
Perception.
impression. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
I still
but
think it's going to be close to a 90.
probably.
Metacritic, like 89, 88?
Maybe it was.
Because that's still going to be a hard thing to beat. But I think IMDb for TV shows does get to that realm easier than a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that TV show was like critically acclaimed. Like everybody loved it. People
Yeah.
loved it. Like
Yeah.
non-gaming people, like we would go to like a family event.
Yeah.
And people I just met, like we were talking about TV shows, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm watching this show called The Last of Us. It's awesome. Like this is great."
Yeah.
So
I
I
feel
almost
like
think
this
we
is-
should go for the show, but like I'm cool.
It's
if you guys
really
just-
No,
fun.
I'm gonna say show.
I think so too, but like
It's
only
gotta be
because
close.
it's a gut feeling. I feel like it's gonna be close for sure, and they're
Yeah.
both highly rated.
Yeah, 90s. I think both of them are 90s.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think 90. Like maybe one's
90.
90 and one's 91.
yeah.
Give us the
Let's
answer,
do it.
Alex. I think we're in agreement.
All right, so we'll start with the show.
Uh-huh.
The show has an 8.7.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's
fine.
seven.
I think
Yeah.
for IMDb, that's
On
very
IMDb.
pretty good,
Yeah, okay.
Just remember, keep that in mind.
Yes.
These are from IMDb, so
Yeah.
it might be higher or lower from other sites.
Oh
gonna
man,
be
the
tough.
Metacritic
I
game
think
is
it's gonna be
probably
close, honestly, but it might be too
Could be
high.
Yeah.
96?
Yeah.
And also remember, these like Metacritic typically doesn't change, right? Like it's the review scores
Yes.
at the time.
Yeah.
And, like
Yes.
maybe people re-review it, but it's typically
Yeah.
not likely.
Mm.
So on Metacritic, The Last of Us, the PS3 and then PS4 remaster has a 95.
Oh
Whoa.
yeah.
That's
Dang.
way higher than
Okay.
I
Yeah,
thought.
that's
Yeah.
huge.
Dang.
Wow.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't close. Okay.
Yeah.
It was still fairly close. But
Yeah, I think so.
Dang.
And I remember my first experience with it was actually borrowing it from from one of your friends,
Mhm.
Tiffany. That I like. Obviously, I was in high school at the time. No income. Like I'm not buying games for myself that easily. But luckily, one of Tiffany's friends was kind enough to lend us a copy, so I was able to at least play through the single player, not the multiplayer, because they did that thing where it's like, oh, we're gonna include a code in the with the game that you have to redeem in order to access the multiplayer.
Oh,
so it's like,
weird.
okay, I'm not gonna take the multiplayer away from you, right? Like I just want to play the single player. But I remember playing it, on PS3 back in the day, and just being like, wow, this is different than so many games I played in the past. And that was kind of like a push forward of like, oh, this is what like video games can be, like more mature, right? And obviously seeing how, for the most part, this show, the HBO show, ended up adapting most of it the same.
Right.
And then people seeing like, and how well it's received, right? In general, maybe not on IMDb, but like across the board, right?
Yeah.
With the public.
Yeah.
That you can see, oh, even 10 years ago, video games are doing like very like hard hitting, kind of like meaningful emotional stories. And so I'm hopeful, right? Obviously, we're getting more adaptations of certain things, and hopefully those can carry on the torch of saying, hey, listen, if you want good stories, you don't need like any like the top tier Netflix shows or Max shows, right, to get those, or Showtime or whatever. It's like you can get good stuff in video games too. You just have to get over the barrier of saying, well, do I need to play the game, or can there at least be a good adaptation, right, as a movie or show? So I hope that continues. But you guys are incorrect, so you're 1 for 1 now.
It's
for
fine.
1 and 1.
1 and 1. Excuse me.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Man, I looked at Last
That
of
was
Us
a
Part 2
tough one.
Metacritic, and it was 93. So it's not even that less. Because I
Yeah.
know that was
Oh,
really
yeah.
divisive too. But the
Yes.
user score in Metacritic, it was like 5.3. Like
Yeah.
people review bomb that
Oh
so
my
much.
gosh. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't know how
That
much
was
that
really
was
tough.
like pre-release or
Yeah.
like people updated their review, right? Because there's a lot of preconceived notions because things leaked. So they're like,
Yeah.
this is what the game has, or this is what happens, and people review bombing it. And
There's a woman in this game?
Yeah.
We can have like a whole discussion on Last of Us, like the game itself, Part 2. I feel there's a lot of interesting stuff about that.
Maybe that's my segment.
On that note, though, check out the peer review
There we go.
of The Last of Us
That's
Part
true.
1 and 2.
Yeah, Matt and I had a great
On a
discussion about
separate
that.
It was great.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing we have is Assassin's Creed.
Oh my gosh, that
1.
movie was
That
so
can't
bad.
be-
That movie was
No,
bad.
the
Yeah.
game's better.
So we
Wait, hold
have
on.
the game and the movie. So
No.
Assassin's Creed 1,
yeah,
the game. And
I was gonna say, like, what are the mediums that you're gonna
yeah,
ask?
the game and the movie.
That's too easy.
The movie
Okay.
with Michael Fassbender. in
I
case-
saw it in theaters,
It's
y'all.
too easy.
Oh, that
right?
was a bad decision.
Well, listen, I had a decent time with that, I'm gonna be honest.
Listen, it seems like Alex is just giving us all these like easy hitters. I thought he was gonna like try to throw us off on The Last of Us, but
I mean, we did
I mean,
get
we
that
did get it
wrong.
wrong.
We did get it wrong.
No, I know, but it's because I thought he was trying to throw us off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think we just gotta accept it as what it is.
Yeah.
There's no way the movie's higher, right?
Correct.
Right.
The game is higher. I don't know.
Watch this be the fastball. That'd be crazy.
I wonder, this is the one where it's like, I bet the user ratings are way better than whatever the Metacritic is. Because I feel like normal movie-going people are fine with it, but like critics, man, they were like, this is why video games are trash. Like they're not a good medium for story.
I think
Oh,
the
you're talking about
IMDb
the movie specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I think-
so IMDb should be.
Yeah.
I think it's in the 60s.
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
think IMDb. I don't think it got a 50. Like I feel like I would
I
have
wouldn't
heard.
be surprised if it
I'd be like
was.
57 is what was coming to my mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking like 62.
The
or
better
something.
question for me is like, what do you guys think critics reviewed
The game?
Because I think that people like it in general, but was it like a 9 out of 10?
No, I think-
overall, I feel like probably not.
I think it's definitely in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think
The first one.
with itself, I think it would get a good score.
It did
But then as soon
revolutionize
as
like open worlds in
Assassin's
a way.
Creed 2 just kicked its face in. Like, it is so much better of a game. Like, it's probably the best sequel to any modern game, in my opinion, ever. Like, it does everything better. And
Okay.
then looking back, Assassin's Creed 1 is probably not as good, but without Assassin's Creed 2, I bet it's probably in the 80s.
I think 80s as well.
Wow, I think it's in like the high 70s. The game.
I think that's also possible.
Like,
I think
that's-
right now, if I had to rate it, it'd probably be like 70s to 80s. But back then,
yeah, I
that
feel like it was
revolutionary.
revolutionizing like open world missions.
The first
and just like
eagle
walking
jump
through
into
people.
some
Yeah,
hay.
and that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
Caw.
The movie.
Yeah.
The movies in the dump
Yeah.
compared to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with the movie first. The
Uh-huh.
movie has a 5.6
That's
out
not
of 10.
surprising at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Really
56.
Yeah.
Good
The
job.
game on Metacritic has an 81.
Good job,
Nice.
guys.
Let's go.
Good job.
Solid.
All right,
We
we're
did
back
it.
on the right track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also saw that movie in the movie theaters with my coworkers because it came out like when I first started my job.
Yeah.
And man, that was an awful movie.
Oh.
And I think a lot of it too was because they focus a lot more on like the modern aspect.
Yeah.
And like that's been the divisive point for the Assassin's Creed games, where it's like obviously like the story that they're trying to tell is kind of this modern day story with like ancestry involved, which is what enables them to go to all these historical time
Yeah.
periods, which is a very neat premise. Like
Yeah.
I love that idea. That's what gets them like you can go to Greece, you can go to Egypt, you can go to Japan, you know, upcoming this fall with Shadows. And it just, because though they focused on the modern, which is obviously the weaker part of the story, like
Yeah.
it just isn't great. And they
That's
tried
gotta
to
be like the shortest scenes.
right,
in
and
the movie.
Yeah.
they tried to make it like super acrobatic, right? They made the Animus that weird like arm thing.
Were they doing like parkour? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
basically,
Yeah.
like he was in a chamber, and like when he was like living out the past,
Yeah.
it was like his body in real life doing like the jumps, like attached to an arm, like
What?
so it's
Yeah.
like controlling his falls
Why?
and stuff.
Yes. It was almost like an arm. Yeah.
Like
it
a
was-
gyroscope or something.
Yeah,
like
That's
that.
bizarre.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know who this is for. Like, it does kind of look cool, but then it also looks ridiculous because then everything he's experiencing is in his mind, right?
Yeah, I
Because
thought it was
it's
like
they're all
in the
like-
games, it's just in the Matrix, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just
Plug
like,
and
yeah,
it's
you're
just
in
there.
a pod, and then you're just like living out the
You're
senses
just
of the
like you're not
ancestor.
doing anything except for living their memories
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like when
like,
you
that's the
die,
conceit.
it's like you're out of sync. Like you're desynchronizing. You're not
Yeah.
dying. It's
Right.
just like,
Yeah.
oh, your ancestor actually didn't die. You need to get better because you're just living their memories. But for him, it's like, no, he's like doing everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like they had
Okay.
almost like a superhero landing. Like it was.
Yeah,
wow.
it's kind of like as if he were in VR. And
Yes,
right,
yeah.
and he's like doing his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was, honestly though, I thought the movie was okay. I didn't go out being like, give me my money back. I was
I
like,
want my money.
oh damn, okay.
Alex still wants his money back.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next?
All right, next up on the list, The Martian,
Ooh.
the book
Ooh.
versus the movie.
Listen, I love this movie.
Yes, I
Um,
do. I love
I
that
recently,
movie too.
I was going through Ridley Scott's filmography recently because I was watching the Alien movies again,
Mm.
and I realized, oh, he made The Martian
Yeah.
too. He's directed a lot of like interesting movies. It's
All
just
very
like
different.
sometimes his writers are different, so like his movies are very different because the writers
Mhm.
kind of like shift the story a lot. Martian was amazing. The book I heard is really good.
It's very
Have you
good.
guys both read it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What
I
do you
loved it.
guys think about like what's better, the book or the movie? Maybe that'll give us a good idea.
Um.
I
What do
so
you think?
I read the book a while ago. I saw The Martian in theaters.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
like, I need to see it because the book was so good. I'm going to say that the book was a pretty good adaptation
I heard it's
Or wait,
pretty
not the
true
book.
to
The
the-
movie was a great
Yeah.
adaptation.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're relatively close. Honestly though, for The Martian, I feel like it's barely. I don't know why, but I feel like it's barely hitting a 4. I don't know, because like people when they're rating it, like I think it could be anywhere between a 3.9 out of 4.
I mean, 4 is pretty good.
Yeah,
If you consider The Martian probably has something similar to that.
Yeah.
I'd
So
imagine. The movie, sorry, I don't know why I said The Martian.
yeah, I was like,
again.
wait, what? So I feel like the movie probably is in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
For IMDb, and then I think
like low 80s for the book.
Yeah, low 80s for the book.
IMDb is strict on
It is very
movies.
strict.
So I'm like,
Maybe even 70s.
it's close. Like 3.9, 4.0, 4.1.
Yeah.
I could see any of those.
Yeah.
Well, it's out of 10, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I think I gave The Martian a 5 out of 5 on
I love
Goodreads.
Martian.
Yeah, I think
But
I
then-
did
the
too.
book, okay, sorry.
But then, like, I technically think I have lower standards for books because I'm not a huge reader. I think I enjoyed the movie better. Like, I don't think the book is required reading.
Yes.
Because I think it flows better.
Mhm.
Because some parts of the book don't flow exactly right,
Mhm.
in my mind. But the movie flows really, really well.
I
Matt
feel
Damon
like-
did awesome.
Yeah.
You're not the first person who's told me that either.
Mm.
Does that make you guys think we should say the movie is rated a little higher?
I'm gonna say
You've got to think he's going to put IMDb above one of these.
One
right?
of these. And this one actually makes sense, but like in a close way, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's say the movie's higher.
Yeah, let's do it.
People did love the movie.
People did
Yeah.
love the movie.
Let's do it.
We're locked in.
We're
Right.
locked in.
Let's start with the book first.
Okay,
Um,
good idea.
Oh no, it's like
On
4.3.
Goodreads, the book has a 4.42.
That's huge.
That is
So-
high.
That is huge. Literally,
About an 88.
That's almost a 9. Yeah,
honestly,
we're
I
screwed. I think.
I
Yeah, we're
think
screwed.
the thing is also on Goodreads,
We
I
are
feel like the
screwed, yeah,
highest
there's no
scored
way.
book is really just like a 4.6. I don't think anything's gets
I
higher.
think Shawshank Redemption is like a 93 on IMDb.
Okay.
Like that's like the peak.
The pinnacle,
Yeah.
the apex, if you will.
The Apex Legend.
I
The
think,
Well,
Shawshank Redemption.
I think you just have to accept we're a 500 team.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We're basically the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, what's the movie at?
The movie on IMDb has an 8.
Yeah.
So 80.
Okay.
That's strong.
That's
That's
That
a good
is-
movie
Oh,
right there.
is it? Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean both great. Recommend both.
Yeah, both are good.
I haven't read or watched it, so.
Oh, you need to watch it.
Get ready
Sure.
for Project Hail Mary.
Hell yeah.
What do
I
you
feel
mean?
like that's fallen
That's
similar
his
line.
next
Yeah.
book, Andy Weir's
Oh, really?
other book.
Turning
It has
into
Ryan
a movie.
Gosling in it.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I told you about it
movie
yesterday.
thing. Yeah.
And it has the Sandra from Anatomy of a Fall. She's going to be in it as well.
Nice.
She's
Yeah.
awesome. I always thought that her name is Sandra Hüller because that sounds more German, but supposedly it's Sandra Huller, and I was
Oh.
like, that there needs more German. Like,
yeah.
I don't sound angry when I say Huller.
Yeah. And the movie's like 2026, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. That will be my top recommendation.
It's
that
also
year.
being produced and directed by the people that made Spider-Verse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Christopher
love
Lord
Spider-Verse.
and Miller.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm. Lord and Miller.
And this is like connected. The story. is
No,
No,
connected?
no, it's not
It's
It's
just,
just
their
a
next
different book,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
In the far
It's
distant
better.
future.
Yeah.
Better.
It's better and it's funnier. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be great.
It's
But is this an
heartwarming.
example where I should probably read it first?
It's up to you.
Or is it not
I'll
necessary?
I
be reading
love
it,
the book.
maybe.
Yeah, I love
the book.
I recommend that book all the time to anyone.
She recommended me.
I
the book.
recommended
I
him
remember
the
this,
book.
actually.
I recommend everyone that book because I also feel like no matter what, even if you're like, I'm not that into sci-fi, I'm like, read it.
I think
It's
the book
so
is
good.
right there. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Next
Do we
one.
have a fifth one?
Yes, number 5. I have 6 total. So
Okay.
All right, let's do
you're
it.
50-50 right now.
Okay.
All right, the 5th entry is League of Legends. The game versus the Arcane Netflix show.
The Arcane Netflix show has to be higher rated. I feel it in my bones, and people are so upset.
Do you
about
think
the game.
people like Metacritic bomb when they're bad at League of Legends? Like
I could feel it. They're
Wait,
like, this game is
Metacritic
trash.
Does take into account user scores?
I don't know.
I thought they're like separate for user and
Yeah, probably you're right.
Is
I
that
think
right?
They do have separate
Okay.
user scores on
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I think Arcane has high 80s. I don't think it's in the 90s. Like, or for
League of Legends.
IMDb. Sorry, what did I just say? What did I just call it?
League
I'm
of
not sure.
Legends.
Just
For
Oh.
League of Legends. But I think you
Arcane.
for League of Legends on IMDb.
Oh yeah, Arcane,
Arcane.
the show, I think
Uh-huh.
is high 80s.
Okay.
It's a show. You guys have said shows are a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
I don't think it hit the 90s
Okay.
because it's still animated.
And how about the game?
I think the game people get mad about it, and I think that
No. These are critic scores.
Oh,
Critics
critic
do not get mad.
Oh, well.
No, they do.
Some do.
Okay.
The jungler keeps ganking my lane.
Yeah.
Stop.
I don't know, how are MOBAs rated? Are MOBAs
I don't
rated?
know.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
Oh my-
I feel like animated, just to talk about IMDb a little,
Yes.
I feel like less people do review animated.
So it's
anything.
more like
So-
volatile. Then.
So it's
It's
either
more
going to be people
susceptible
that
to
are going to watch animated will review animated.
Yes.
Not necessarily everybody's going to watch it.
Mhm.
Okay, so I still feel comfortable with like maybe mid to high 80s is what I'm going to go with IMDb.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like League of Legends, if you talk about like top 25 games of all time, League of Legends is probably going to be talked about. Like, I don't know, it just has such like staying power. I don't
It has
play
staying
League of Legends,
power, but like, what are the reviews?
Yeah,
like? That's
but-
the thing.
but I would feel like, I don't know.
I'm
in
going to
my
say
mind, I would be
70s. I think 70s Metacritic.
I'm going with you. I've also never seen Arcane, so
Neither have I. But I've
So
only
good.
heard good things.
yeah.
It's so good. Listen to our peer review episode.
That's true.
It-
And the one that's coming up,
Yeah,
At some point.
we're going to be doing
Season
that.
2 this November.
Yeah.
they'll record it immediately.
Yeah. Yep.
So
They're not
are
gonna
we-
sleep.
Yeah.
Are we going with the show?
I think show's higher. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm cool with
I think
whatever you
we're taking Tiffany's word.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Because we do.
My
not
cred's going to be demolished right now, but we're
Let's
going to
see.
go with the show.
I think you might be right though.
All right, League of Legends, the game on Metacritic, has a 78.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Good
I
I
choice.
knew
Good
it. The
choice.
game. Yep.
Yeah.
78. Knew
Totally
it.
right.
On IMDb, Arcane, the show, which I know, for listeners, I know it's not a direct one-to-one, but it is like an adaptation.
Adaptation.
Of part of
Mhm.
League of Legends, like backstory.
Yes.
So I think this is still a
It's
fair
fine, yeah.
Yes.
comparison.
Yeah.
Even though people are like, it's not League of Legends, the TV show.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
It's as close as you're ever going to get, people.
Exactly.
Unless they continue. It could be in like anthology series where it's all called.
He's trying to defend you right now.
I'm
right?
trying to
Sure,
defend you.
I
on your side.
love League of Legends. That's
yes.
all I'm saying.
Yes.
The show on IMDb has a 90.
Oh,
Wow. That's crazy.
That's huge. I
Yeah.
did not expect that.
See,
but-
I feel like, I wonder how many actual ratings went into that too. Like, I'm sure it's like
Yes.
all the people that are like animated all
yeah,
the time.
like they're like Pixar movies.
I have friends that are just
And
like,
then
I do
Arcane.
not watch animated movies.
Yeah.
At all. I
Yes.
do not watch animated shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, love
Okay.
it. Great
We
show.
are now above 500.
All right, let's
Yes.
keep
Let's
it.
try to
Yeah,
finish it.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can't do any worse than being 50%.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Maybe playoffs if we're in the Steelers division.
That's right.
All right, you didn't get that joke, but
No,
this was
I'm
kind of
just
fun.
laughing.
It
with
was
the
great.
group. Okay, yeah, okay.
That'll get us more listeners. We need more sports references.
Yeah, because NFL fans definitely listening at the 53 mark.
Yeah.
All right, for the final entry, and this I tried to make it recent in case you guys keep up to date with things, and that is Borderlands 1.
Oh.
So this is Borderlands 1 the game
Too
versus
soon, Alex. Too
Borderlands the movie that just
Too
released into
soon.
theaters.
I got a coupon for $5 for a movie ticket for Borderlands, and I was like,
threw it
I
away.
wanted. No, I was like, I might do that,
Oh.
but then I didn't do it. It was like I had a week window to use that coupon.
And you already missed the window?
I did because the movie's come and gone, right?
We're just kicking a dead horse, Alex. This is just.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say games higher.
I just wanted to
Let's-
see if you guys keep up to date. with
Let's
things.
guess the IMDb score because
That's a good
that's going to be
one, yeah.
way lower. But
4?
like how I'm thinking,
oh, 4.
Maybe lower.
I was
No,
gonna
I'm
think
thinking-
It might be
5.
lower. It might be lower, Tiffany.
Oh damn. Okay, I don't know that.
I was
I'll
thinking
go-
this was going to be like 20%.
Okay, I'll just do whatever you guys think.
Somewhere between like 2 and 4. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess the Borderlands game Metacritic too?
80s,
85.
high 70s.
85? Okay. 85 and then 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the shift. Yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
huge
Okay.
disparity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was Letterboxd, it would be
even
that
lower.
shift.
All right, give us the answers.
All right, we're going to start with the game.
Okay.
Metacritic score, Borderlands 1. Borderlands series is great. Tiny Tina's Wonderland's great.
Oh,
Matt
great.
and I, we co-opted.
Yeah.
Supposedly they're working on Borderlands 4. That is officially in
Nice.
production. So we're getting that at some point. But Borderlands 1 has 84 Metacritic.
Nice.
Okay.
Pretty good. As expected. Yep.
Pretty
Very
good.
Very good. One of the premier looter shooters, right?
So
Kind of
good.
At the
set
time.
the standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the day. The movie on IMDb, as of 2 days ago, because I don't know if it's gotten worse or better.
Oh, it's gotten worse, probably.
But as of 2 days ago, it has a 4.3 out of 10. So
Yeah.
43.
All right.
Okay.
That's higher than I thought.
It's about what I thought.
And I think really it's just a hard thing, right? Because I feel like the identity of Borderlands lends itself to be like a movie, but it's like the fact that they made it PG-13, so it doesn't, like Borderlands is pretty like gratuitous.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's an M-rated game, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of like limbs exploding, a lot of like dirty jokes, and the fact that they kind of, cleaned it up a bit was probably to the detriment. And then also the fact that they didn't have like the premier villain, Handsome Jack, who's kind of like a presence in the first couple of games where it's like, a lot of this story is kind of focused around him, and they decided not to include him. So it's a very odd choice of having the original cast of playable characters, but not like the main villain. So I'm not sure what like the direction they were trying to do with that.
So I'm not a Borderlands fan, but I've read some responses from fans, and they also did not like the casting in this movie a lot. Like, it was more focused towards star power versus like good fits. Like, I heard Kevin Hart's casting just didn't make sense with the character's casting at all. Like,
Roland,
he's this big brute that takes things seriously all the time,
right.
and Kevin Hart's like the exact opposite of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of things working against it. I feel.
They had like $118 million budget, and I think they only got like 10 in their opening weekend. Like, it was
my gosh,
it was crazy. I don't know the exact numbers, but like out of that 118 million, that Kevin Hart, Jack Black, like just those two are going to be
or Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett
and
like,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, like all those, like just get rid of all that stuff and then put some no names. Like they don't need to be like notable. And there's so many young actors right now. Like you can get no names for the cost of any of those and like actually put it towards
that way instead of losing $100 million, you only lose like $30 million.
Yeah, but
it maybe focus on the writing and like the actual.
It sounds like it lost the soul of what makes Borderlands fun.
Right.
Like Borderlands, did you ever play Borderlands?
Mm-hmm. I tried getting into it, but
the first boss, the first like in-game boss of Borderlands is like known because of like its design looks kind of like certain private parts, and like that is the humor of Borderlands. Like that is just what Borderlands is, and to have no gore, no blood, no anything, like no exploding limbs, like what?
I think there is an exploding like worm creature.
Yeah,
they like drive into it.
Yeah, it's wild. Like it's like such a miss. Which it stinks because it's like video game adaptations and movies. Like
we're on a roll.
Yeah, we're going so well. We're going so well.
It's the 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah. Like, even like the Sonic movies that like people aren't saying like these are 5 out of 5 masterpieces amongst like critics. They're saying these are fun movies.
Do is it like bomb kids movies, like good, like it's really bangers?
Exactly. And that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, freaking Super Mario Brothers. I loved it. Yeah.
Like since Mario has been put on Netflix 6-8 months ago, it's been in the top 10 movies almost every week because if you have a kid at home, they're going to want to watch Mario and it's going to make you a ton of money. And it was great. I love that movie.
And if you grow up with Mario, you're going to want to watch it too, just for the fun of it.
Love it. It's definitely a miss.
We had those. We had Last of Us. We had Fallout. Everything was going well, and then they just had to release this movie.
The problem is like I listened to a movie podcast, and like they're very like prestigious, probably one of the highest like rated movie casts out there, and they're professional critics, and they're talking about how it's kind of sucks for the person that played like the Tiny Tina character because she is a young actress that's now going to have this on her mark. She doesn't have like Kate Blanchett. Not gonna.
Was she the one with the rabbit ears?
Yeah, Ariana Greenblatt.
She was young Gamora, and she was in the Barbie movie. So so she is. I think she's gonna be fine. She's in a lot of big hits.
Also, at least from the trailers, she looked like she did a good enough job as Tiny Tina. I don't know. Maybe it was the writing. Like this is the problem of like how much is it on the actor versus the writing? Yeah. Right? It's like how much can an actor do with bad writing?
Yeah, it's just like young actors need to be like careful of like what they sign up for because. You get to a point and you watch a film from 10 years ago and it's like, wow, this person did really well. Where are they at now? They have like one stinker and then they don't get touched forever. Yeah. Like, so I hope that doesn't happen. But like everybody else in that list, Jack Black doesn't care. He did really well as Claptrap. And it's like, he makes sense for Claptrap. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know.
I think maybe a lot of it too is like, do they have another project like soon to like, rebound off of?
Yes.
Like, obviously Kung Fu Panda 4 came out, so like Jack Black has like stuff like very close together.
And then like Kevin Hart and Jack Black, they're literally in Jumanji together. They're used to like, trash to like pick themselves up. Jumanji was great. But they're used to like the normal trash movie.
Yeah,
And they're
They
fine.
partake sometimes.
They're great. Yeah.
They
I
just
will
need the
watch
paycheck.
Borderlands. I will watch Borderlands when it comes to streaming. But
I will not.
you gotta put a little trash so you know what a good movie is every now and again. You like gotta see the worst it can be so you can appreciate everything else.
Also, I want to shout out, Sonic 3 will be the next, adaptation coming out because that comes out in December. And, Keanu is Shadow in it. So, that just adds to the star. But, as we said, the Sonic movies have done a good job of kind of keeping the essence of Sonic, right? Especially from kind of all the extra media that they, Sega likes to make of him. But then actually making a, suitable movie where it's not, skewed one way or the other,
And Sexy Knuckles. Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, let's
Sheesh.
just shout out the internet for saving Sonic's face, okay?
Yeah.
Sonic would not have done as well as it did without saving his face.
I don't even want to ask.
The original CG
Yeah,
Sonic
the original
was
render
horrifying.
of Sonic's face looked really bad. They tried to humanize him,
It
and
looked
then
horrifying.
because it was a leak of his face, and because there was such a volatile response, apparently they went back to the department, art department, to
So the one on the left is the original.
yeah, to edit it to make it look like his
Crazy.
normal eyes.
That's crazy.
And then everyone's like, okay, this is a lot better. And then they've kept it with Knuckles and Tails.
Yeah.
Assumably with
Yeah, I can see why they did that.
Shadow, so.
Yeah.
All right,
Internet came
guys.
through.
Yeah,
As
congratulations.
Okay.
As our host, though, also congratulations to us. We got above
Yeah,
500.
66%. Congratulations.
Great work.
4
Yeah.
out of
That's pretty good.
4 and 2.
Let's get to our next segment. Who wants to go?
Are we gonna rock paper scissors for it or?
What do you feel strongly about one way or another?
I'm gonna end. I want to end.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's good. We got to hide mine in the middle because you guys is really, really fun.
Oh.
Mine's not because, well, maybe it is fun. I don't know.
No, it's gonna be
It's
fun.
your segment, Matt.
It is
Yeah,
my
own
segment.
it.
So, 4 years have passed. We have been completely different people, right? 4 years ago, we were in the middle of quarantine. We were playing Animal Crossing. The only reason I knew Alex was because I would go to his islands and
Sell your turnips?
sell my stuff and
Yeah,
then
I'm
just stick around him.
Who's this guy in a suit and top hat doing on my island?
Yeah. We went from there to you being at my dining room table.
Yeah.
Look how far we've come.
Yeah.
But now we've talked a lot about the past. We've talked a lot about, adaptations of the past and our first episode of the past. Now we're looking at the future. Because honestly, the past year, my whole lifestyle has changed a lot. How I consume media has completely changed.
Yes.
And I am curious for you guys, and maybe this is just me in a peek at my inner psyche of what I think about on a day-to-day basis, but what do you guys think your media habits will be in 10 years time, 20 years time, the end of your life? Between movies, TV shows, video games, books, do you see any of those teetering off? Because this also kind of got sparked because Alex had a very big milestone birthday recently, and he said he injured himself somehow immediately, and I said, welcome to your 30s.
Yeah.
And he said something along the lines of, I'm going to have to maybe take a step back from the platinum grind.
Yeah.
And it just kind of sparked this thought of we are now all in our 30s, looking into the future. Do you see that grind slowing up? Or do you think, no, full speed ahead for the rest of my life?
That is such a thought-provoking question because I've been having a lot of turmoil with this. With the hobby situation, what I'm into right now, I've had a renaissance with reading in the last couple years.
Yeah.
I was a voracious reader when I was growing up, going to the library every week, and borrowing a lot of books, reading almost a book a day. Granted, when we were younger, these chapter books ain't a lot.
Right.
But I took a step away from reading, with professional school and then starting a career. I would say I was away from reading for maybe 7-8 years, consistent.
Wow.
It was a long time.
Yeah.
I used to read a lot, and then I stopped. And so I am now back into it in the last couple years, and then video gaming, I also stopped for a long time too. When I went to professional school or even undergrad, I wasn't allowed to bring a console with me. So I didn't have one. And so I got back into it. I was not allowed. It was a family console. Also, this fool was, our age difference is
why is it your fault?
I didn't play Last of Us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so, didn't have a console. I had handheld devices and all that, but, whatever. Anyway, so I definitely feel like I have not touched any big hitting video games this year at all. My goals are really rough right now. I haven't played Spider-Man 2. I haven't played Remake, Remaster.
Oh my gosh.
What is it
That's
called?
the first step.
Revival.
Reunion. I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I played Crisis Core instead. I mean, that's a step, I guess.
That is a
That's a
huge
good
step.
step.
Yeah. But anyway, so right now I'm in this weird amalgamation of I still keep up with video game news. I still love knowing about it, and I still think about oh man, when I get to it, I want to sit down a weekend. I have no plans. I'm just gonna literally wake up, play a video game, start it, and then do it. Instead, it's the Olympics just happened. I'm watching that.
That was a good time.
That was a great time. I love it. Every 2 years, turn it on. So winter and summer. I love both.
Winter too?
Yes,
Okay.
I love
Nice.
winter. Speed skating is really cool to watch. It's
Oh,
like the
okay.
swimming of winter Olympics.
Yeah.
To me. But anyway, so in terms of what I think moving forward, I feel like I'm always going to be watching movies. I love going to the theater. That was during the pandemic was devastating when I couldn't do it. Always going to be keeping up with some movies. I saw 2 movies this week in the theater.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? So TV shows, kind of hit or miss. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This crackdown on sharing streaming services is harshing my vibe a lot. I was recently kicked off the family Netflix. I've been deciding I'm going to choose, why do I need to pay a just consistent fee? Maybe pick a month, right?
Yeah.
Pay for it,
exactly.
watch all the
Binge
things, binge, because I'm a big binger.
You are.
I'm a huge binger, so
We know this.
yeah. So TV shows are going to be kind of up in the air, right?
Right.
What's actually going to be out and available? What's going to make me get a streaming service for a short time? And then I think books and video games are really the two that I just have to balance. So it's either I'm either going to be in a reading binge, which I was at the beginning half of this year, or I'm going to be all in on video games. So I think but I still see myself having a console.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The next iterations come out, I'm going to get it if I make my goals.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at.
No Switch 2 for you.
No Switch 2.
What's on your plate?
Yeah.
But if it happens in 2025, you can get rid of the 2024 goal and just get a Switch 2.
That's true. Get me that
Goal's over.
Pokemon Za. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of, not to say I will stop the platinum grind, because I feel that, completionist aspect, I made that joke because I felt like it...
May I know what the injury was with the platinum?
Yeah, no, I mean, I fell on the stairs onto my shin, and it's actually been pretty bad because it still hurts. So it's been 2 weeks since I fell, and I've had some pretty bad bruising on my foot as a result of it.
Okay.
But basically, it's just I hurt my leg. I fell on the stairs.
For some reason, I thought you got an injury trying to platinum, so that's why you're not platinuming anymore.
Yeah.
It was a butt injury.
Yeah, it's I developed carpal tunnel. It's really bad. I just can't play.
No, it's a butt injury.
Yeah.
He's just embarrassed to put it on a podcast.
Yeah.
It's oh man, my
gluteus maximus.
My gluteus maximus is very weak right now. No, so it was just me kind of having that thing of oh man, as much as I'm able to do things, I think about what I should be spending my time on, and obviously to the completionist mindset, right? That's part of my motivation to platinum games, right? Because I want to have that feeling of I've seen everything, right? I feel if I form an opinion on it, it's very comprehensive, right? Because I've seen a platinum trophy typically has almost every element of a game that you're forced to engage with, and I feel that results in me having a very comprehensive view of saying, well, if you ask me about something I platted, the opinion I'm giving you is hopefully very informative because I've touched every aspect of the game, right? I'm able to tell you, oh, I've liked this aspect, I didn't like that. Maybe the post game content wasn't great, or maybe it was what made it better. Yeah. And so I kind of thought of it that way, but then, having this injury just in terms of limited mobility or things being a little harder, I thought, just doing things, do I want to go deep on a very few things, or do I kind of want to expand my breadth? And I think I've leaned towards kind of saying, well, there's a lot of things I haven't experienced yet, and I'd rather kind of touch upon a lot of different things as opposed to going deep in a few number of things. And so it's kind of been my kind of expanded focus of saying, well, there's a lot of things I've missed, you know, whether it's playing games or books or movies, right, that I haven't touched yet or experienced. And I kind of say, well, rather than spending an extra like 30 hours on this game, right, to get the platinum, you know, I could spend, that's like a whole nother game, or like that's like 10 movies or something, right?
Yeah.
And like saying, you know, I know and I've enjoyed this experience, and I know I probably would still enjoy like going deep all the way to experience everything that it has to offer. But then that also says, well, why not enjoy other things, right? And kind of spread out to say, I can enjoy like 10 3-hour games in the same time frame, you know? So it's kind of been that eye-opener. Say, I don't think I'll ever really stop, but it's definitely kind of going to slow down a little bit, and then I'll kind of shift focus to other things, right, in order to get that more breadth of experiences.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of agree with what you're saying, because to me, I know that gaming is always going to be part of my life. I don't think that's really going to change. I'm going to be like in the senior home, I'm going to be gaming.
Hell yeah.
All the seniors
Get the
are gaming.
Burial party going with Mario.
If there's not like a gaming
I got a
party.
Burial. Drink beer, play Mario Party.
No, it's shots. Every mini game you lose, you gotta take a shot.
Yeah.
Oh man. Every like senior home like room needs a huge gaming PC, and then they need to have like a community gaming area.
Yes.
I can't wait for those days. Anyway, counting down the days. I do think though, like Alex said, I probably will end up trying to expand how many hours I put into each, because I feel like right now I put so many hours into gaming, especially like multiplayer online gaming, that I'm starting to realize how many hours I'm putting in, and I kind of want to distribute some of those hours elsewhere. Even though I still enjoy playing multiplayer, there are things like Alex said I haven't experienced yet that I want to try, and that's why I've had that goal, the single player experiences this year.
Yes.
And that's going well, but I need to do more with like books, movies, TV shows, because all of them have kind of
fallen to the wayside.
Yeah,
absolutely,
especially
Yasser.
recently.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be the big change in the next like 10 years, is like how that distributes after I like let online gaming be like at least
a smaller piece of the
a
pie.
smaller piece. Like it's still going to be probably the biggest piece, but
Yeah.
just smaller than it is right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just don't know exactly what that's going to look like, because I don't even know what my life is going to look like.
Yasser's like, I wasn't planning to get this deep today.
I know. Well, see, like, so we got a dog.
Yes.
So the past 4 months have been very different. I have not played.
That's a life-changing event.
It is a life-changing event.
Yeah.
Like, it honestly, like, Manny and I talked about it. It's like, man, this is like a kid. Like,
Yeah.
there's parts of this, it's like, no, we can't do that. We've got Jimmy at home. Like, you know, right now, it's like, oh, man, he's been in his crate for, you know, an hour and a half. Like, you know,
does he need to go to
you
the
know,
bathroom?
no, he's fine.
Okay.
But, you know, like, all these things happen, and like, I'm so thankful for the PlayStation Portal. Like, I think that my future for gaming for the next 10 years is probably going to be remote. Like, a lot of it's just going to be remote play. Like, I think if there is going to be a new game system that is remote, I'm going to invest in that. Like,
Switch 2 or Steam Deck?
Yeah, Switch
There's
2.
going to be so many options.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be just perfect for me, because, you know, Maddie and I, we really do try to, like, spend time, like, each night we're just like chilling, vegging out on the couch, like watching trash TV, just doing whatever, just being in the same room. And it's nice to be able to still game during that time. And like, I've changed some of my habits. Like, I'm getting up earlier to watch a movie or play a game, where I don't have to like sacrifice time with Maddie, or, you know, taking care of her dog. You know, I feel like you're just going to
sacrifice sleep.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Like, it's like, I am willing to sacrifice that to watch all the Alien movies this week. I watched 6 movies in 5 days. And this is all before work. Like, I am just like doing this because I just like that. I love movies. I love movies. I think movies will forever be the thing that I invest like in my children, of like showing them the love of movies and like what is so special about that. But like, video games is one of those things where I can't see my life without video games, because it's just so important. It's just how I'm going to consume it.
Ingrained at this point.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things where, even though
We're
I'm
going to
not
be at the retirement home with Yasser.
with Yasser, we already have, you know, rooms right next to each other. We have headstones right next to each other. That's great. But I do find myself already like talking about multiplayer. I've already kind of given up a lot of my multiplayer experiences just because it's just not conducive to my life. Like, it's hard to do remote play multiplayer. You're just not doing that. Like, and so that's something I've kind of given up. But we do still find time. Like, Yasser and I are probably better at it than Alex and I. But I need to be better about like scheduling time of like, hey, let's schedule a couple hours to work on this Gears 4. Like, let's just do this.
I told you that's what you need to do, Alex. He's like, no, I don't like scheduling.
But even if we do that, it's still tough.
Yeah,
Like, I was listening to a podcast that was talking about Remnant 2, and it's like, man, I really need to play that with Alex. Like, I need to text him and be like, hey, this Saturday, do we have like 2 hours to play? Because I'm having to do that to make sure that I still get that time. And it's like, I feel like it's going to be more work, but it's going to be worth it. Because I can't imagine taking anything away.
I also don't mind. Oh my gosh. It's like, I saw this Instagram reel that really spoke to me that basically was like, women will plan and schedule to have fun and guys just have fun. But it's like I had, like, the person speaking was a woman who was saying, like, I have a date on my calendar 2 months from now to get lunch with some girlfriends.
Oh, okay.
Listen, this
once you finish the sentence.
Yeah, and then with dudes, they're like calling each other up and like, dude, what's going on right now? You want to get some food? He's like, yeah, I haven't even, let's do it. And I'm just like, wait, how do people, I mean, like, I appreciate that. And I feel like I'm technically a mix. I feel like I'm a mix of that.
Yeah.
But like, I know that sometimes it's also just easier. Like, hey, like, let's get something on the calendar so I know we both can make time.
Yeah.
Even if it's 2 months from now, like, let's play, like, you know, the game's coming out and let's do opening weekend. Like, let's play like for 3 or 4 hours before lunch. Yeah. If you can wait, you know what I mean?
I mean, even this recording is a product of like actually us
like
planning
2
it
months.
out to get it to happen.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. Which, listen, and I'm okay with organizing our lives like that. You know what I mean? Like, I have...
It honestly takes the stress away because honestly, like, in the moment, it's like,
no, I
people
can't.
are not available. Like,
yeah.
it's really tough to like get on each of our schedules, especially because there's multiple time zones here too.
Yeah.
It's like multiple things at work, multiple things like in personal life. It's like it takes the stress away of like knowing, oh, like I can have this time like planned out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The busier your schedule gets, the more it helps. I feel.
Yes.
At least try to plan something out.
Yeah.
Initially, so you can get a roll going, so you have like some sort of cadence.
Yeah.
It also is something to look forward to, you know?
That too.
Just like, oh man, like, oh, it's next week. Yeah, that's right. We're doing this thing. So
we've talked about this a lot, and this is the last thing I'll talk about on this subject. We've talked about this some already on the podcast, but I feel like this year has been the most like liberated I've felt with gaming because I cared way less about being in the zeitgeist of like playing the game that it's going to be on people's game of the year.
Yeah.
Don't care. Could not care less. Like, I have not played one of those games since Balatro, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's been multiple games that, like, people, like, all the podcasts I listen to are all talking about it for multiple weeks, and I'm like, that's great. I'd rather be playing Kingdom Hearts right now.
Yeah,
so
hell
that's
yeah.
what I did.
Yeah.
And now I'm playing Kingdom Hearts Recon. Like, I feel so liberated by just, like, taking that pressure away of, like, what's the point? I've got limited time. What's the point of this? Like, if it's not just to have fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even I want to tell people, too, like, even with books, feel free to DNF. The internet says DNF, so I adopt that it's do not finish or did not finish. If you're getting into a book and you're just not feeling it, just stop it. Yeah. You guys have encouraged me. I was like, I'm not feeling this game. And you're like, guys, you're like, Tiffany, just drop it if you don't want to do it. I'm like, but I want to try maybe. But maybe I will drop it. So... yeah.
That's what hobbies are, though. It should be fun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point?
Shouldn't be stressed about it. So
right,
listen, I'm going to end
Send
off.
us home.
Yeah, listen, I occasionally pepper in one of my other hobbies that I freaking love and enjoy. Mm-hmm. And I have created a little... sort of a game show too.
That's totally gonna sound like pee on the recording.
Yeah, like you have to pour water. Like, why can't
water.
you just drink from your bottle like
all
a
right,
normal
drink
person?
From the bottle.
No,
sorry.
Anyway,
I need to refill coffee, but it's right in the same room and I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, this is chaos. But anyway, so my segment I'm titling "Crafting Moments of Joy." Okay.
This is like the best title out of everything. So it's artistic.
Yeah. Crafting Moments of Joy. And so the theme of it is going to be like a little bit of a dating show, okay? An experience show, okay?
You tried to explain this.
Yes. So I'm going to discuss one of the things that I love are board games, okay? And so I'm going to have 4 different experiences. I'm going to kind of pitch a little bit of it with some questions, and if you want, each of you can ask one clarifying question and choose if you would like to have a night with this game. Okay, this is it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Are you taking them home tonight?
yeah, are you taking them home tonight? Are you gonna have a good time? So
I'm glad we watched her last night, like dating an AI, and now we get to date a game.
Yeah,
Yeah, perfect.
Or like have a night with the game. That's just all I'm saying. Okay, so the first experience, I'm not gonna tell you the name of the game until after, if someone picks it.
Okay.
So get ready to sail in the 1600s.
Wait 1 sec.
Yes.
Before you,
Yeah, I've already started.
clarifying question.
Yes.
Are we all answering at once, like which one we want, or like, how
Well,
does this work?
I'll
Is it
let you
turns?
guys ask additional questions if you're interested,
Okay.
or then say like, no,
But
that
if
sounds
you're not
fun.
interested, you can like bow out.
Yeah, bow out.
Okay.
I have 4.
And if
Yeah,
two-
we need
if-
to have those questions of like, do you like spicy food?
Yes.
Well, and then what if multiple people want to take them home?
Do they fight?
No, I think it's fine.
They can both.
we
take
Yeah,
them
we
home.
settle it in Bureau Park.
No,
We
no.
did have something like that in her as
Both,
well.
both take them home. Okay. So, and then I'll describe a little bit more. It's still a little bit mysterious, right?
Okay.
And you're not going to get the whole picture unless you ask clarifying questions. So,
Okay.
experience 1, do you get ready to sail into the 1600s. Do you like to take chances with Lady Luck? Do you like the thrill of a race? Do you want to be able to play with more than 3 other people? This is our first experience.
I'm interested.
Okay, you're interested? Do you have a question for this experience? I'll dive deeper when someone says that they're in it to win it.
Can I just ask a
Yeah,
clarifying question? with
yeah,
that?
ask a question.
Is this a deck building? Does it have deck building
It
components?
is not. This.
What is
Okay.
the ideal number of people?
So you can have up to 6,
Uh-huh.
minimum of 2.
Ooh.
I think having roughly 4 to 5. I like
Okay.
that the option is there to play with 5 other people, including you, because it's very rare with these
Yeah.
types of games. Okay, do you have a clarifying question?
No, I'm interested.
You're interested? Are you
Oh.
in?
I don't need questions. There's
I'm
no
in.
more questions.
Okay, are you?
I'm interested.
You're interested?
Do I have to be in, or can I be interested?
No, you can
Is
be
there
interested.
a limit to how many times we could be interested?
No.
Because there's 4 games.
No, yeah, there's
Okay.
you can be interested.
Wait, how many are you trying to take out on a day at the same time?
That's why
Yeah.
I'm asking. I don't know if I want to be interested if there's like something
You
better
can-
coming along.
If no one's interested, I won't go deeper into how the game actually works. But if there is interest, I'm gonna say it, and then you got to say like, yeah, I want to choose this date. I'm gonna tell you the name of the game.
We're not committed yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I am interested.
Okay, because otherwise I would have just dropped it. Okay.
But we can be committed to all 4 if we wanted to.
If you want to play like that, yeah.
No, let's just do
No, I'm
one.
just
Let's.
kidding.
It's risk reward, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
And then
do
we'll
it.
do a final reveal at the end, right? After
Okay.
we get
yeah, sure.
And then you will all, and then I will battle royale, whatever.
Do you
Anyway,
have to commit after you're done with this first game, or can we commit at the end when we've heard?
you
all
can
4?
commit after you've met all the ladies.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay,
like this.
okay,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay, but so
All the ladies.
it's like cars and ships. They're women, right? No, I'm just kidding.
That's right.
What?
Like games, whatever. So there's dice rolling,
Oh.
and it's hand management. Basically, everyone has a ship, and you're racing around an island. You have 3 cards in your hand, each with it's called a night and a day action. So it's like the card is split in half, and one side is night and one side is day. The active player will roll 2 dice and decide what die pip is going to be daytime action and what die pip is going to be nighttime action.
Okay.
And then basically everyone looks at their hand of cards, and you choose whether you want to move more or like collect goods based on what your cards say.
Mhm.
And you basically all flip it, like you all choose to do something, right? And so you kind of flip the card over, and then once it's like everyone's put their cards down, you reveal it and you just go through what everyone does.
Okay.
So that's this one.
Okay.
We'll find out the names at the
I
very
have
end.
one additional clarifying question,
Sure.
but it's technically not about this game.
Well then no.
Just quick thing. I think it's okay.
Yasser's overruling me.
Does this have anything to do with the game that we're going to be playing tonight? Or today?
This one, no.
I'm saying like the results of this. Are they going to be...
Okay, wow.
That
Way
would
to
be
spoil
funny.
the surprise.
Oh, God.
This could impact what's happening.
This is going beyond
This
beyond
is-
the bounds of the pod.
Yeah.
This has like serious ramifications now.
Potentially,
so I gotta
yes.
take it seriously.
Yes.
Okay, alright.
But only 2 of these are actual potentials for tonight.
Okay.
The other 2 are, you're going to have to figure it out on your own.
Not this one.
Just
kidding.
Dang. Okay, here's experience 2. Jesus, this is going off the rails.
I was
I'm
kidding.
trying to keep this tight.
Alright, go.
Okay, another chance to push your luck. Do you like to come out on top? Do you like customizing your abilities? Do you find variety in the spice of life?
I'm interested.
Questions? Okay, any clarifying questions?
to do.
No, but any clarifying questions before you confirm interest?
Oh. Can we do a clarifying question after you explain more?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, is this cooperative?
No.
Does only one person win?
Yes.
I'm down.
Okay. No interest here? Okay. Well, I'm still going to explain to the rest of the group. Pick your champion. It's a take that game. There is dice rolling. You could make it cooperative. Generally, it's not.
Oh.
So you could do 1v1, 2v2, free-for-all, whatever. Point of the game, everyone picks a champion. Everyone starts with 50 health. And you basically try to chip down each other's health to banish them. And you have a deck of powers that you can upgrade your abilities for. Everyone has their own board. And then you roll dice in a Yahtzee style because you need certain dice faces in order to trigger your abilities. Okay. So you can roll your dice up to 2 more times to get the faces that you want. Okay. And then in terms of play style, you kind of do your thing. You choose to attack. You choose who you're going to attack. And then they have the opportunity to defend with their own rolls. Okay.
Man, free for all. That's brutal. Yeah. You can just pick on one person, like everyone.
That's how it is in a free for all game.
That sucks.
Okay, so here's experience 3.
The alliances.
Experience 3. Let's have a grand time with just about anybody. Do you like working together towards a common goal? Are you able to think outside the box? Do you want to be able to explain the rules in less than 2 minutes?
I'm very interested in this one. This sounds great. Clarifying question though.
Yes.
What is the range of players you can play this with?
1 to 7, or as many as you want.
1 to 7?
Yes.
So you can play this by yourself?
Actually, I think it's 2 to... Never mind. No, it would be 3 to 7. My bad.
3 to 7?
3 to 7.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I think if you want to start teaming up people...
I guess I'm interested. So.
You're interested? No, not so much. Anyone else?
No, deceptive
elements. I'm just trying to think of a
No, there are no deceptive elements. You're nodding. That sounds interesting.
Are you interested?
No.
Okay. Yasser?
Wait, did you say you're interested?
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested, but I'm trying to figure out a good clarifying question. I can't figure it out. You said you can explain the rule in 2 minutes.
Yes. Literally going to tell you the rules right now. I mean, granted, there's not much more. The other games have more to the rules than what I judged with you guys, but this one is literally, I'm going to tell you.
Did you say what the overall objective was?
I said no. I just said you work towards the common goal.
Can I ask what the overall objective is?
Yes.
To win.
To get the active player to guess the correct thing.
Guess the correct thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Interest?
Oh, yeah, I'm interested.
Okay. So it's clue.
We've been interested in everything.
Yeah, no, I know. Themes of it is clue giving, party game. It's a word game.
Oh, okay.
So basically, the active player...
Wait, this is the last one?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's
it's the same one. Okay, sorry.
An active player picks a card and doesn't know what the word is. Basically shows it to everyone else. Everyone tries to write a unique word down on a mini whiteboard, and then before the active player isn't seeing what's going on, right? You're all writing you have one word that you write down, and then before you reveal it to the guesser, you show the word to everyone else. If anyone's matching the same word, you cannot show the guesser. You cannot reveal it. So you flip your word down. So then once that's been revealed, the guesser looks up essentially, and whatever's remaining of the clues is what they have to guess what the word is.
I'm interested.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
This one sounds great.
Yeah, that one's that. So last option here, last experience. Are you ready for some nostalgia or for some first-time memory making? Do you like the great
outdoors?
Yeah.
There's only 2.
Well, I don't know if people have done this before.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Do you like the great outdoors, arts and crafts, or the smell of campfire?
I do like all those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not arts and crafts, but everything else you got me.
Same.
Okay. Any clarifying questions?
What is the recommended people?
So maximum amount of people is 4 people, but you can play with 2.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Can there
I'm
be
digging
teams?
that.
No. I mean, collusion's a different story,
Sure,
right?
sure, but no proper teams.
No proper teams.
I'm interested.
Okay.
What is the objective? Again,
Win. Points. Get the most points.
What is the gameplay? I guess we're going to get to that, right?
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
I'm interested.
Oh, you're interested? Vibe check, Alex?
Good vibes.
Good vibes. Okay. So this game is deck building. Open drafting with cards and point collections. The whole point is
That's like Blotro.
So in order to win, players must earn the most camp experience points, and you earn them by claiming merit badges.
That's so funny.
And moving your little person across like the board and getting cards to build up your deck. You create a strategy to kind of outplay your opponents based on the deck that you're building, and the whole point is to rule the summer as the ultimate camper.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna say.
I know who I want to date.
Okay, you each pick one. I want one master date that you want.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm
just
gonna
the
tell you
number?
the names.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we all picking at the same time?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Is that what you want?
Yes,
I'm
let's
ready.
do it with your fingers. Let's do it, and we're gonna see.
On what?
I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, and you.
We're putting up
Okay.
hands. You can't see this.
No, but I'm gonna announce it after I
Okay,
see it.
okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. We got all people saying that they're interested in Experience 3.
Let's go.
Okay, y'all. I mean, that would have been great.
Did
if-
you not bring
I
that
didn't bring that one. I didn't bring that one.
Oh my god.
So this game is called Just
You have
One.
a board game store nearby, right?
I own all of these games.
Oh, we can go get it then.
No, they're not here. I brought other games. I
Okay,
brought
okay,
two
okay,
of
okay.
these games, but
All right.
so this game is called Just One. And
Okay.
it's a fantastic and fun party game. Had a good time with it. Sorry we can't play it today. We are gonna play. We're gonna try to play some games.
Theoretically, we could play it just bootleg.
Yeah,
version.
we could actually play it today, our own version of it, with our own like screens, like just write the word and show each other. No, we could try it out.
We can try.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my segment.
Can you just share the names of the other ones?
Yeah, so the first game where you're racing around an island is called Jamaica. You're racing around the island of
So
Jamaica.
the island is Jamaica.
Yes,
Okay.
the island of
That
Jamaica.
makes sense.
Experience 2 is Dice Throne.
I thought that was it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt has a copy of that, and I have the copy of that. And Experience 4 was called Summer Camp.
That was the one that I was
On
I
the
would've-
fence about.
That if 3 wasn't existing,
Yeah,
I was
I
going to
think-
pick 4.
I was
Well,
gonna say the same thing.
That's hilarious. I did bring 4 today.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to be the ultimate camp counselor.
Yeah.
No, you're the camper.
Oh, sorry, camper.
Yeah. Get the most merit badges.
All right, guys. I think we've had a
A
long enough episode
beefy
for our
90
episode.
minutes. That's not bad.
episode 100. 90 minutes.
I
a
think
flat
my
90.
segment ended up being the longest segment.
I mean, we all had
That
great
was fun.
segments.
Yeah.
That was fun. That's the
Yeah.
important part.
That's
That was-
true.
that was
I
a
thought I was
good-
trying to keep it tight,
That was
I
good.
felt
That
like
was
keeping
good.
it tight.
Yeah.
As usual, folks, you can find us on Twitter and wherever you can find your podcasts. Just look up RXP Podcast, also known as Recommended Experiences. And this has been Yasser and our 3 beautiful co-hosts, Tiffany, Alex, and Matt. Thank you, Grandmaster Doug, for the tunes, and we'll see you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Love it.
That's like, watch the finger.
This could
Okay.
be the outro after Grandmaster.
He's
Doug.
recording now.
I'm recording right now.
Oh,
This
no
could
way.
be the outro right now.
Yeah.
I'm recording.
Just for the past 8 seconds.
Man, why are you giving me
Oh
more
my
work
God.
to cut?
Here's the thing. We don't have to have it timed correctly because there's only one recording.
That's
True.
true.
That's
True.
true.
I have to time it to
Alright.
the music, though.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to do some work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna make it
That's
too
what we
easy.
pay big bucks
I
for.
drove here. Yasser flew here. We've done so much work already.
Listen, I just woke up. I don't
Yeah,
know. This is fair.
Jimmy peed on me.
no.
I don't know, did he? No, I'm
That won't be on me. That's
He
for
kind of
sure.
peed on you.
Oh, because you just said that he had an accident, so I assumed it was just like.
When he saw Yasser
Okay,
this morning.
yeah.
It was-
But you weren't holding it. He just had it
No.
on the
Yeah,
floor.
see, that's why he met you all outside
Right.
today.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
just 55 seconds to cut.
Yeah.
1 minute. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
All right.